All right, Cam, we're going to do a quick analysis of your swing based on the lesson that you had today. The thing that you were really struggling with at the beginning of the lesson was striking the ground in the same spot every time, really controlling your low point. You had a couple of contributing factors that were prohibiting you from being able to do that. Number one was a little bit of your setup. Your setup, you had much of your weight either centered or even more on your trail leg, your right leg, than your front foot. So that was one of the things that we changed and addressed here. And you can see, quite clearly the video on the left is your swing before any instruction, and the video on your right is the video after instruction. So first of all, from setup, you'll notice the video on the left, your knees are really pinched in there, your feet are squared off to the target line. You can even see by the green box that I've drawn on the video that you have weight really outside the right portion of that box, or left if facing the camera, but you can see your weight distribution there. The picture on the right, you can see that much more of your left arm, left shoulder, left thigh, even left leg is outside of that green box to the left, which predicates more weight being on the left side of your body. In addition to putting more weight on the left side or front leg, we also slightly flared your feet out, and we externally rotated your knees slightly apart from each other. You can notice that very visibly in the video on the right versus the video on the left. And you also have slightly a tad more forward shaft lean at address. Now I'm going to play these videos both for you at one time through so you can see both swings, and then we'll compare some key positions. In the video on the left, you'll notice as the club comes back, your head drops significantly and actually moves away from the target. Now let's take a look at the video on the right. Notice a much more stable head. It drops just a little, but it doesn't move away from the target. Alright, so now we're going to look at a couple of key positions here. I want to reference the top of your backswing position. Let me get the second video there. And here we are at the top of your backswing in basically both videos, and you should see a significant difference. First of all, if you'll look at the yellow line, I drew that yellow line down the left side of your body where your hip was at address to kind of denote how much you've moved off of that line. You can see at the picture on the left, you've moved considerably further away from that line than you did on the right. Still slightly a bit more movement than I would like, but overall you dramatically decrease the amount that you're moving laterally away from the target line. This is helping you stay more centered and creating that stable axis that we talked about on the left side of your body. From here, you're in a position to strike the ball first instead of the ground, because the low point of your swing is still in front of the golf ball. From here, I want to take a look at your impact positions in both. You do a nice job of pushing your hips forward, but you can see that at the picture on the left, you don't have as good lower body action. We talked about your right knee sort of caving in, no spinal extension through the shot. Really not using our lower body to generate any kind of power, jumping off the ground, pressing into the ground. The picture on the right, much better job of actually using your lower body. You can see that your legs you're sort of jumping off the ground there. You've got much more forward shaft lean at impact. Your hips have pushed further forward. Just an overall nice job in one short lesson there. Here we are in a position just past impact where I really want you to focus in on the lower body action. The club is relatively in the same spot, but your legs are in a much different spot. The picture on the left, you can see your lower body, your right knee is just sort of caving in. Really no power, no thrusting, no jumping off the ground. Whereas the picture on your right, you can see that you're starting to use your legs. You're starting to use the ground as a force to press against, to generate some speed. I want you to continue to work on that and continue to push your hips forward, tucking your tailbone and extending your spine. From there, you're going to be able to maintain straighter arms and create more of a more width in the radius of your golf swing. On the left now, you'll see a video of a PGA Tour player, Grant Waite. I'm going to play this swing a couple of times so you can just kind of see it. Now I'll do it once in kind of slow motion for you. But I want you to notice his lower body action, very similar to what I'm teaching you, how he presses against the ground, how in the backswing his right knee loses flexion, his left knee increases in flexion, and how he pushes his tailbone, his lower center of gravity, toward the target. You'll also notice that his right leg is still maintaining its loss of flexion, and he's actually pushing forward, pushing his hips forward, and his right leg is getting very long. You'll see his right foot actually banking, and you'll see as he goes through impact, Grant starts to tuck his tailbone and extend his spine. Now right now I have him stop pretty close to the frame where I have you, and I want you to just take a look at the comparison of the two pictures. And what you should see, is his spine more extended, his right foot banking more, and he's able to maintain straighter arms. That's what's really going to help you get more power in your golf swing, is learning to use the ground as a force to press against, and to learn to maintain that wider radius, so straighter arms. But before we do that, we have to learn to control our low point. Anyways, I hope this helps you, and give me a call if you have any questions.